Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar, Housekeepers, an ergonomics approach to reducing workplace injuries. My name is Dan Flanders. I oversee the risk management department here at FHM. The gentleman pictured next to me is Mr. Rich Ocean. He was the one that developed today's presentation. Thank you, Rich. So here are today's topics: ergonomics and its benefits, cumulative trauma disorders and how they develop, injury risk factors among housekeepers, methods for easier housekeeping work tasks, and housekeeper safety and health. Here are some actual claims submitted to FHM. On the left side, in red letters, you'll see the type of movement that was taking place and what led to the injury. Words like lifting, reaching, pushing, pulling. On the right side, underneath incurred, is the cost of claims in dollars. These numbers are important because they affect premiums, but these dollar amounts don't include the indirect costs of workplace injuries. What about the loss of productivity, the cost of overtime for staff members covering for an absent worker, the decreased morale, and the cost of recruiting, hiring, and training a permanent replacement if that employee does not return to work? So what is ergonomics? Ergonomics, designing jobs, equipment, and workplaces to fit the worker so the work is safer and more efficient. When jobs are designed to match the capabilities of people, it results in better work being done and a better experience for the person doing it. The purpose of today's training: reducing injuries by applying ergonomics to housekeeping work. So what are some of the benefits? Reduces discomfort or pain. It helps get the job done faster. The best ergonomic solutions will often improve productivity. By designing a job to allow for good posture, less exertion, fewer motion, and better heights and reaches, the workstation becomes more efficient. It improves quality of work. Poor ergonomics can often lead to frustrated and fatigued employees that don't necessarily do their best work. When the job task is too physically taxing, they may not perform the job like they were trained. For example, a room attendant may avoid a hard to reach area due to pain and discomfort experienced while performing the work. Quality will suffer as a result. So here's the summary of benefits. Lowers the risk of getting hurt, makes housekeeping work easier, reduces discomfort and pain, helps get the job done faster, improves quality of work, and most importantly, a reduction in claims equals a reduction in premium. How injuries develop in the body. Acute injuries occur after a one-time incident, such as touching a hot surface or tripping and falling. Cumulative trauma injuries develop over a period of weeks, months, or even years. Shoulder and neck pain, back pain, and wrist pain develop. In the hotel industry, housekeepers sustain cumulative injuries at a higher frequency than their coworkers in other positions. This graph shows us that roughly 3 out of 100 hotel employees will sustain this type of injury, or nearly 3 times that of a server. Here are some of the areas of the body most affected by cumulative trauma injuries. Shoulders at 13%, hands and wrists at 22%, and the backs at 40%. How cumulative trauma injuries develop. Overexertion, irritation of muscle and tendons. This graph will show a comparison of the healing time for muscles versus tendons given the same level of injury. For an injury that would take 1 week to heal a muscle, a tendon may take as much as 20 weeks or 5 months. The healing process is limited to a great extent by blood flow. Muscle fibers have blood vessels and a good blood supply. Tendons do not. This is the lumbar portion of the spine, otherwise referred to as the lower back. These vertebrae are the largest among the other spinal regions, and there's a reason for that. They support the weight of the upper body, including the head and the neck, and this part of the spine transfers the weight from the torso to the legs. The lower back facilitates various movements of the upper body, such as front to back, side to side, and twisting. How cumulative trauma injuries develop in the back. Acute injury is felt immediately. Cumulative back injuries are not felt at first, and they're felt only after the damage is already done. Some work tasks can put a lot of pressure on the discs, such as making bed, lifting heavy objects, lifting that mattress, pushing supply carts, twisting to clean a tub, bending at the waist. Some work postures put more pressure on the disc than others. Here's an example of a person assuming various postures, lifting the same weight, a 25-pound weight. Standing upright with a 25-pound weight, this would put 250 pounds of force on the spine. With bending knees, puts almost 300 pounds, but bending at the waist, it's almost 500 pounds, lifting the same amount of weight. Some work tasks can hurt the shoulder and neck, causing irritated and swollen tendons and torn tendons. Forceful exertions. Here are some examples: lifting heavy mattresses, pushing heavy vacuum cleaners, moving supply carts. Awkward postures, cleaning bathtubs, vacuuming, cleaning bathroom floors. Repetitive activities, cleaning mirrors, putting on pillowcases. And there's more pillows now than there ever have been. Used to be 2 pillows for a king bed. Now there could be 4 or more. Vacuuming carpet. Assuming the same posture for extended periods. Fatigue caused by not resting muscles while working. Doing many tasks using the same hand or arm. Be conscious of pain or discomfort. Switch hands or tasks. Making beds, lifting mattresses and tucking sheets. On the left, the housekeeper is in an awkward position. She's bending forward and twisting her back. Shown on the right is a much better option. She is closer to the bed and parallel to it. The workload is between her shoulders and her waist. Vacuuming, regularly emptying the vacuum bag. Lower force to push the vacuum and less fatigue. And choosing the proper height setting for the carpet conditions. It lowers force to push the vacuum and again, less fatigue. Here's some examples of bad posture used while vacuuming. A better example, a better option, would be to position the vacuum straight in front of you with better posture and the back not twisted. And where possible, lighter weight vacuum should be used. It's also a good idea to alternate between left and right hands while vacuuming. It gives that muscle group a chance to rest. Moving supply carts. It's a good idea to store the heaviest or most frequently used items between the hips and the chest because that's the strongest part of the body. And push the cart with both hands. It keeps the body from twisting and it distributes effort across both sides of the body. It's also a good idea to empty the trash can frequently and replenish the supply cart a few times over the shift. Carts with aligned wheels are easier to push. They should be inspected frequently and repaired as needed. Cleaning bathrooms. Standing outside of the tub requires extended reaching and puts stress on the shoulder. Stand inside the tub to clean the wall, as long as there's no risk of slipping. There's less reaching, less stress on the shoulder, and it's a good idea to use extendable wands or attachments to reach those hard to reach high up and far away places. Keep dirty towels off the floor as much as possible. Repeated bending to pick up towels puts undue fatigue on the lower back. By placing them on the sink or the counter or toilet, it will reduce the amount of times you need to bend over to pick them up. Instead of carrying one large heavy load of wet, dirty towels, it may be a lot better to break it down into two smaller loads. There'll be less stress on the back and shoulders that way. Work at waist level whenever possible. Alternate arms when cleaning surfaces. Our take-home messages for today. Ergonomics can be used to make jobs easier. Specific tasks and work practices can put stress on the body. Certain aches and pains may be a sign of cumulative trauma. There are many ways that work tasks can be performed differently to reduce the likelihood of injury. A healthful lifestyle may reduce the risk of ergonomic injury. Thank you for watching today's webinar. Please visit our website at www.fhmic.com for a recording of this webinar or to download a copy in PDF. If you would like additional information on workplace safety, please don't hesitate to contact me. We'd like to hear from you.